You met a number of minions known as the Horde. You saved a handful of children, I believe 7 total, and unfortunately were not able to save about 5 others. But you did meet in combat with a entity named Rurgameth, who was attempting to open a small chest by pouring children's blood over it. So you guys defeated him. You did not kill him, but he disappeared into the fabric of space and time, and you were able to salvage the chest. So after coming back out of the mines into the town of Dead End, you were greeted with mixed emotions by the villagers there, and you hopped on your ship and have now traveled back to planet HD 40307G, which is where the Sect of the Seven Divines is headquartered. So, all right. Your ship sets down on the landing bay, placed on the top of a hillside about half a click outside of the Sanctum. As you step out of your ship, you are greeted with the sounds of wild animals and the wind blowing through the trees, as well as the distant sounds of the small yet bustling outpost. Located on a remote corner of a remote planet, the Sanctum serves not only as the primary headquarters for the Sect of the Seven Divines, but also as a place where weary travelers and those seeking new beginnings can find a fresh start and maybe even a little hope. 2 of your party have been here before. Joe and Vax, I believe you've been here a couple of times. But even for those familiar with its sights, the view of this beautiful place still takes your breath away. After pausing for a moment to take it all in, you set off with your belongings towards the Sanctum. So, a little background about the Sect of the Seven Divines. You guys work in the hunting division. You guys are responsible for hunting down and destroying threats, bad guys, monsters, entities. That is not the only chapter or portion of the Sect of the Seven Divines. Along with being an actual functioning religious order, they serve in a number of positions and responsibilities. They have an entire unit that's devoted to helping terraform planets. They are responsible for helping to stabilize cities and domains. And they also do just a lot of charity work. They take in people, they help them, and then they are, this part is not as out in the obvious, but they are involved to one extent or another with galactic politics. So as you walk across the fields towards this city, you see the giant spire of the sanctuary rising in the middle, is surrounded by other small official buildings, and then spreading out towards its walls there are shops and houses and inns and things like this. So it is, in effect, a small city that you all are moving towards. So you all make it to the Sanctum. You walk in through the gates, and you make your way, at the guidance of your professional Jaredon, towards the headquarters. I'm going to show you guys a map of the headquarters. We aren't going to use your tokens today. This is just a role-playing session. You're going to meet a few important characters. So, switching over. You guys find yourself... Can everyone see that? So this is a rough layout of the first floor of the sanctuary. So you guys walk in over here at the beginning of this long hallway. You are met by 2 robed characters. Their names are Liam and Sophia. They work in the Order. Jaredon would recognize them. Vax, you may have met them before, but Anika and Yafai, you never would have. So these 2 walk up to you. And Sophia is the first to speak. She says, "Welcome back. We are so happy that you all made it back safely. How was your journey? How was the travel back?"
How long have we been in transit in space with this thing?
About 2 weeks.
Do you think? Well, I would. Okay, I got to make this up. Um, I, Vax looks distant and preoccupied, while and is distracted.
Hmm.
He has an object that he's been like thumbing for a long time, like for the past 2 weeks, probably since the very time that day after he got on the ship.
Liam notices this and he says, "Vax, brother, you look troubled. What's on your mind?"
He snaps out of it and he says, uh, "And you said I haven't met them before."
You kind of know them by association. Just they are at a level in the sect that you wouldn't be like prevented from knowing them. So you're two or three times at the Sanctum. You've been around them. You don't like know their you know parents' names or anything, but
Uh, Liam, um, Sophia, it's good to see you. I think we're eager to kind of conclude our business here and drop off this chest.
hmm. Sophia says, "Oh, I do understand that you all look weary and tired and in need of some rest." She says, "But first, Jarden, we know you. You're old news. In fact, it's good to see you again. But I haven't had the pleasure of meeting your two companions. My name is Sister Sophia. I've been in the sect for several years. And this is my brother, Brother Liam, my actual brother. He is my actual brother, not just my brother in the order. And we are so happy to meet you. What are your names?"
Annika regards them with suspicion and just like very quietly, just like Annika. And just like
Oh,
totally curt, but like not unprofessionally.
okay. It's so great to meet you, Anika. My name is Sophia, like I said, and we're very happy that you're here with us. What is your name?
The name's Yafai, but you can call me Yaf.
Uh, Liam comes up and he looks like he wants to shake your hand, but he's not really sure how to do that. So he kind of gives you a little bow and he says, "Yeah, we are so happy that you are here, and we hope that your stay with us is comfortable, and that if there's anything that any of you need, please let us know. We have been assigned to your team." So whenever you all are working here at the Sanctum, or if you are out in the field, we will be your contact people, and we are here to answer any questions or provide any help that we are able to. Now, I know that you all are hoping and waiting and wondering when you're going to get to go sleep and eat, and typically that is how we would do that after a mission. But you have actually been requested. Your presence has been requested with the High Priestess immediately. Now, out of character, this is super weird. None of you except Jaredin have ever met the High Priestess, and even that only in a very formal setting for Jaredin. So not only the fact that you're not allowed to go clean up before meetings, but the fact that High Priestess, her name is High Priestess Dingeli, that she has requested an audience with you all, period, is very, very strange. So Liam and Sophia, they say, "So we have to leave immediately. If you would please follow us." Now, so you all walk with them. You're going to walk into, on your map, it says number 2. Um, that is a large, it opens into a large antechamber. Got a little feedback from somebody. Oh, there we go. And then you're going to continue on from there into here, go up a set of stairs, and that is going to take you to a remarkably smaller second level. And as you walk up the stairs right over here and come out into the main area, this is a large room with a pool in the center, and pillars around the edges of it. It's incredibly quiet. It's a tall ceiling, but all of the walls around you are stained glass, so there's this beautiful light filtering through. It's deeply, deeply peaceful, and not something that you think most people in the sect would probably ever experience. It's not doesn't seem to be a common place except for higher ranking members. So as you walk in the distance on the other side of the room, you see a woman standing facing away from you. She's a tall woman. I mean, she's probably about 6.5 feet tall, beautiful, beautiful dark skin. And Jarden would recognize her as High Priestess. Let's do this here. High Priestess Dengeli. Um, you all should be able to see her. Does that show up in your on your screens, or is it just in your journals?
It's on the screen.
Okay, so I wasn't sure how that worked.
I have it on the screen, and then it's also in the journal. I've also got the mysterious note with the rune and Sect of the
Yeah,
Seven Divines and the
yeah,
Hunters.
those are new as well. Yeah, so that is a little information on the Sect of the Seven Divines. If you all ever want to go, I need to update it probably, but yeah. So this is High Priestess Dengeli. Jarden would recognize her. The other three of you would not. But Vax, I think you would probably understand how big this is. You'd appreciate immediately. So you all walk in. High Priestess Dingela comes over to you and greets you. And she says, "Welcome, welcome, all of you. Thank you so much for coming to meet with me. I am happy to hear that you have made it back safe. I know that you're tired. I know that you want to bathe and rest and heal. Um, but I had some questions about your most recent mission. Could you please fill me in on what happened and where you were?"
Well, I I think I have some questions as well, since we're asking. But we were on Kepler 186F.
Hmm. Yes.
There was a village there, a mining town. People were being kidnapped, and
Mm.
we saw things and creatures.
What type of anything that you surely all of you have traveled far and wide and seen many things. Was this not something that you had seen before? Is this Anika laughing in character, or is this Sean?
No, sorry. Um,
It's your turn, Sean.
it was Sean laughing because
Oh, okay.
reasons. Uh, no, this something new.
Now we knew when we sent you. I have been notified that what we originally thought may have only been a regular run-of-the-mill monster hunt, uh, it appears has turned into something much more. What is it that you all saw down in those mines? Please tell me. Mr. Yafai, what did you see?
Well, to be honest, I'm not totally sure I can completely describe it. Growth, tentacles, really big. It stole memories.
Oh dear. Did any of you have your memories stolen?
I I have a I don't haven't decided what it is yet out of character, um,
Sure.
but it's a bauble, and I say um, when we got back to the ship, um, I took this out of my pocket, and I know that I've had it for a long time, and I always carry it, and I don't know what it is, and so I started to try to remember, and then I realized that before I started working, probably 10 or 12 years ago, doing some of the jobs that I've come to be known for, I can't remember anything.
Oh my. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. And you see she's actually emotional. Like she's those aren't just words for her.
Well, I can't remember anything before that time now, but I do remember people asking a lot and me not answering, so I guess now I don't have to tell them.
Well, I admire your positive outlook, Mr. Ternan. So this thing, it can take memories. What did it speak to you? Did it tell you anything about itself? Did it give you a name?
Yeah, it called itself Yurgameth.
And you see the high priestess's face drops. Like she was genuinely concerned, very focused on you all, and at this, like something changes. Like it is like a switch flipped, and it is almost like her face has. I mean, like you know, I'm not going to say she turned white as a ghost, but she like just I mean like her eyes almost changed just at the shock of hearing this, and you can tell that this piece of news has means something to her that it doesn't mean to any of you all, and she actually turns away and has to compose herself for a moment. um,
Is everything okay, ma'am?
do any of you know why we are called the Sect of the Seven Divines? Um, Jaredin would know, but he so High Priestess, she begins to explain. She says, um, many people in the most people in the sect know and recognize that we follow the guidance and the teachings of seven divine beings, seven deities, if you will. Those beings are Sholdos, who is the god of justice and judgment. Um, we follow the teachings of Rekfin, who is the goddess of mercy and peace. Sorry, I'm going to be dumping a lot here in your guys' laps for a second. We follow the teachings of Odia, who is the goddess of wisdom. I'm sorry, of purity and innocence. We follow the teachings also. Yeah, of Gumera. Gumera is the goddess of wisdom and foresight. We follow the teachings of Honar, who is the god of courage and bravery in warfare. We follow the teachings, the sixth of the god Metar. He is the god of creation and craftsmanship. And we follow the teachings and guidance of Dodite. He is the god of death and inevitability. These seven and their teachings and followings are what lead and guide us. They teach us to treat others with justice and fairness. They teach us to fight injustice and evil where we find it, and to live our lives in an orderly manner that strengthens and grows our universe. What many don't know is that even long before there were the seven, there existed one goddess who ruled and controlled the whole universe. She was once good. She was once beautiful. She brought life into this world. Her name was Kirasis. Now, Kirasis brought the seven into being. She gave them their power. She gave them their names. And she gave each of them a totem, which contained a portion of their power. And for many, many untold millennia, Kerasis ruled the universe um, over the seven and guided them as well. But untold ages ago, Kerasis began to change. She began to thirst for even greater power, for total domination over the universe, where before she was simply its shepherd. And she began to try to destroy and to obliterate and to bring the whole universe and all of the planes into darkness. Now, thankfully, in a rapid enough manner, the seven were able to unite and to use their totems to defeat Kerasis and kick her out of the celestial plane. Unfortunately, before she was removed, before she was kicked out, she managed to take the seven totems of the seven divine and to scatter them out among the universe, hidden where they can't be found. They have been lost to time for many, many millennia. But anyone who is able to gather and control the seven totems would be able to bring Kerasis back, and she would once again threaten the fiber of reality as we know it. Now, this has existed in lore in the darker corners of the universe for a long time. None of us, not even the wisest scholars, were sure of its veracity, if it was true or not. We hoped it wasn't. We hoped that we lived in a world where the seven had ruled in peace for as long as existence itself. It appears, however, that we were wrong, and that our hope was misplaced. Rurgameth is a higher demon of the hellish plane. We have known of his existence for some time. His ability to eat memories. But the fact that he was chasing after whatever it is you have found in your chest tells us that, again, we may have been wrong. That perhaps Kerasis did exist and is now seeking once again to gain control over the totems. If she manages to get the totems, then she will be able to destroy the seven and our world will end as we know it, our universe, our fiber of being. So, now out of character, I failed to mention before, you guys, when you guys were picked up, you dropped off the chest that you had picked up, the one that you had taken in the mine. She leads you over here into an antechamber, and she shows you the chest, which has now been opened. She says, what you all found was no small treasure or artifact. What you found, we call the scales. The scales are the totem of Sholdos, the god of justice. They allow one to see a person's true intentions. You, please hear me, in defeating Rurgameth, did far, far, far more than saving a town, although you did that as well, and we thank you, and the town thanks you. You all have won the first battle. In what it appears, we have found ourselves in a cosmic war. Now, I know you're tired, and I know that you just want to sleep. And some of you just want to remember. Others may want to forget. And those are all valid. Those are all equally justifiable. But before I let you go, I must ask you, and none of you are required or even expected to say yes, but you all have demonstrated an ability that, as a unit, that we have not seen in our halls before in fighting these forces of darkness. And so I will ask you, will you take up this mantle And will you help us in our pursuit of the other 6 totems?
Vax looks pensive and reserved.
Checks
Kind of
out.
waiting for something. Yeah, yeah.
She says there's no trick here. There's no double blind. She said you, Mr. Terranen, have served with us for a short time now. Working with Jarden, whom you know. Jarden, you have been with us for many decades now. None of you is under any obligation to continue. If you would like to take your earnings from this mission and disappear into the cosmos, we will think nary less of you. But I can say, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, as the chosen leader of this organization, that we need you, and we need you in a way that we have not needed anyone in a long time. And so we would ask that you help us, if you will. You will be compensated for it. We obviously will pay you for the work that you do. In between tasks, you will be welcomed here at the Sanctum. You'll be given a roof over your head and food in your bellies. And we will help you and assist you in any way that we can. But I cannot make this decision for you, and none of you can make it for each other. So it is up to you to decide if you will take this on.
I have 2 out of character questions.
Hit me with it.
The first one is, as part of our backstories, what I recall is that Jeridan forced me, basically pressed me into service to join these people, or they were going to kill me.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And I've always tried to I've always wanted to kind of get away. The second question I have is kind of the group is, do we want to take like a long road on this one, or do we want to kind of take the short road on this, as if we're gonna like do this story? Because there's kind of like the slow burn, which might be like, hell no, I ain't gonna join your organization, and then Destiny, catches up anyways, right? But like, or the short burn would be like a more, we go after these monsters and we get them.
Well, out of character, of course. In instance of Annika, it's this is a chance to do something that, like you said, Destiny's going to fucking catch up and bite you in the ass anyway. So do something that she's probably going to end up having to have a part in regardless, but also a chance to be kind of an inside man on an organization that her family line has been keeping an eye on recently.
Yeah, that seems like a good opportunity for her.
So Annika is like totally into this, but not super into it, but like grunting acceptance of it. Like Annika's just like, and like nodding her head.
I think Russian women are more elegant than you're giving them credit for, Sean.
I think this one is not.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think, Caleb?
You guys can do this conversation out of character, or you can do it in. Either way's fine.
So yeah, I mean, still meta. Yaf probably would jump at any opportunity to get off of Kepler, and also make a little bit of money. But like, it's not totally his decision to make. He's on board, but he's not going to do it without the rest of the crew.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like it's a whole in or out situation. I feel like they're letting us take the mission or not individually.
So out of character,
even if, just you and I say yes, and if Ross's character says no, there's every chance Ross's character may never be a part of this again.
Well, yeah. So I mean, out of character, and I don't think they're. What I mean, I don't think I wrote the damn thing. They don't expect. They don't. That's when you get lost in your own narrative.
That sounds a little Tolkien-esque now. I think Bilbo would have done this. Damn.
That is a high praise, sir. Anyway, no, the expectation is not if you say yes right now, you're in for years. They kind of just want to know if you're willing to continue on with this. If not, you guys earned your credits. You can take your credits. They will provide fare and travel off of the planet.
I
So
think.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Caleb. Sorry.
oh, thanks. Yaf is just going to ask Dangeli. He's going to say, so like, is there some kind of like contract we'd be signing? Are we stuck in this thing? Like, can I quit?
Oh, well, Mr. Yafai, yes. We, of course, will sign a contract with you. All that it will state is that we are responsible for paying your wages as you work and serve for us. We will provide you with shelter and resources such as travel, a place to stay, food to eat, medical attention, things such as this. And it will allow you at any time to leave the service of the Sect of the Seven Divines with no consequence whatsoever. The contract, more than anything, will make official our relationship and then also guarantee security for your interests.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds almost a little too good to be true. Like, is there a catch?
There's no catch. We do this simply because we are, yes, a religious organization, but we also, in some ways, run similar to how a large business would, because we have so many logs in the fire at one time. We do have to provide structure as well, and so we like to, before we ask any independent contractors to come and work for us, we like to provide them with some peace of mind that we will hold up our end of the bargain and they will not be walked all over. We also, in the contract, the one responsibility that you would have is that if, for instance, we sent you on a mission to reclaim something, you would agree in the contract that upon reclamation of that item, you would in fact return it to us. We obviously have interests in the world. I have just explained the primary one now to you. So we are relatively invested in knowing that you would not disappear with something that was important to us.
Yaf is skeptical, but he's gonna step back and munch on a bug he had in his fur while he thinks it over.
Nice. Okay.
Vax actually suddenly loses his composure and looks really angry, and he says, "Ask? You're asking? Like the time you asked me to go to Kepler and lose my entire past? Or else you would purify me? And now you're asking? Look, lady, Carassus doesn't sound like a very nice lady, but I don't know. If these divines have you go around the galaxy and force scum like me at gunpoint to go do things, are they really any different? I mean, it seems to me that if you need people like me, then I don't know. Maybe she has a point. But either way, I guess you guys have been trying to work this out for a few centuries, so I don't know if you'll be needing me. So if you don't plan to shoot me, I think I'll head home. And you have to understand, lady, that in my business, not knowing is the thing that can kill you. And for me to have an entire past that is unknown means that I probably don't have many more years left to enjoy now.
The high priestess pauses and she listens and she hears you. She says, Mr. Ternan, as the leader of this organization, it is my responsibility to take ownership and take responsibility for everything that happens inside of it. Now, I was not personally involved in your, shall we call it, recruitment. In reality, it sounds like you were pressed. And I am sorry that you were treated this way. If I do not see things, it's because I did not look. And so that is my failure. And I have failed you in that regard. And I'm truly, truly sorry. There's nothing that I can do to undo what has been done. And so I won't try. I can ask your forgiveness, but I know those are hollow words to a man who has lost so much. I cannot give you back your past. Wish that I might. All I can ask of you, Mr. Ternan, and of you, Mr. Yafai, and of you, Miss Alexevic, is that you help not me, the High Priestess, not Brother Liam and Sister Sophia, not the Sect of the Seven Divines. If nothing else, I ask that you help yourselves. The threat that I have told you about, it's not a battle between one church and the other church. It's a battle that will affect us all. And I have called you all in here because you are uniquely gifted in your own ways. And you are incredibly gifted as a team. Mr. Ternan, I'm not asking you to pledge allegiance to our sect, or to me, or to Mr. Aiden. I am asking for your help because you are so much more than a petty criminal or the daughter of a wealthy family or an alien, something to be rejected. You all are incredible beings with unique power. We need you. You may not believe that of yourselves, but I believe it of you. So I don't ask you to help me or the sect. I ask you to help your own futures. Mr. Ternan, I said I couldn't give you back your past. But you can give humanity and all other races their future. I can't do that. I don't have that power, but I believe in my heart that you can. That is what I am asking of you.
So you said we were going to get paid for this job that we did?
Yes.
Jordan, you said we'd get paid, right?
Jaredin has been, I think, absent-mindedly lighting a cigarette in the corner. Yes, the High Priestess says. She says, and she says, yes, absolutely. This is a job. You all are contractors at Mr. Jaredin's request. Mr. Ternan, at Mr. Aiden's request, Mr. Ternan, you recruited and brought in Miss Alexevic and Mr. Yafai. As such, you all are entitled to your earnings. You all have each, it's out of character, you all have each earned, hold on, let me check. I had this written down. You all have each earned 1,000 credits into your accounts as a result of running this mission.
Oh, an account transfer. Great. He straightens his belt and his jacket, and he turns around and walks out.
um, yeah, I mean, the high priestess watches you go, and she's been around the block a few times. She knows there's a lot to process and a lot to think about, and she said, "How about this? You all have been through a lot. You've just finished a journey. Please take some time, take a few days, a week if you need it, and think about it. I don't ask for an answer immediately. In the meantime, Brother Liam and Sister Sophia, before they take you to your quarters, um, would like to take you over to meet our quartermaster. If you would like to spend your credits, he has a variety of items available to you. Thank you all again so much for what you've done, and please let us know. Let Brother Liam and Sister Sophia know if there's anything else that we can give you." And she retires to her chambers. Brother Liam and Sister Sophia are going to take you guys over to the quartermasters.
Is Vax able to leave the sanctum?
Like leave. Okay, so sorry. The sanctum is the city. The sanctuary is the building. Are you wanting to
sanctuary.
leave the sanctuary? Yes.
He,
Now, were you waiting outside? They're going to the quartermasters, which is a separate building outside of this giant ass building that is the sanctuary.
out of character, I'm trying to set up a thing to hook him in another way. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right now, I'm playing it that like he's just out. Like,
So let's say this. I thought of it as soon as I said it. let's assume you all leave the sanctuary. You go to your quarters. You sleep. You eat some food. This is the next day. You all have. I mean, I think most of you have probably slept upwards of 15 or 20 hours. Like it's hard to sleep interplanetary travel. It's not great, especially if you're not used to it. It's a weird experience. So the next day, you all come out of your quarters. You guys are in essentially kind of like, I don't want to say dormitory because it's much nicer than that, but you guys share a general area together in a separate building from the sanctuary. It's a small house, basically, for the four of you. So you hear a knock at the door. Brother Liam and Sister Sophia, chipper as ever. Just God, way too early in the morning to be this chipper. Come and meet you, and they say good morning. At the request, we have been asked to take you over to meet our good friend and quartermaster, Mr. Tazgal Bruce. So they take you all. You're going to go over and meet the town's quartermaster. His name is Tazgal Bruce. He's a rough character, rough individual, but he is the best damn mechanic in this system and neighboring ones if you ask him. So you all walk into the shop. You see him, you see his legs sticking out from underneath a speeder as you walk in. What do you do?
So just to clarify, Vax is like departed and he's on the ship.
Okay, so you're not going to the quartermaster.
Right. Like, my thought is, like, if they return to the ship, it'll be just before he plans to just leave and leave them there. But,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I get what you're doing. Okay. So the other three of you are going to the quartermaster?
Sounds like it.
All right. Well, I'm going to send to you. Let me see. Where should I attach this? All right. So if you go, I'm going to send it something in your Facebook Messenger. This is going to be, it's a little short right now, but this is going to be your options in terms of if you want to purchase anything from the quartermaster. Let's see.
I demand a tactical nuke.
I'll have to add that in later.
Apparently Joe has grenades.
He does have grenades. Man, that was an interesting. Trying to figure out if I was going to be able to let him take grenades.
What the fuck? I don't want to spoil the fun of what I'm reading, but that fifth item under armor,
You
really?
like
Oh, I thought it was the same thing.
You motherfucker.
Why can I not remember what Hasafel?
Yaf is fascinated by that particular item and would particularly like to try that.
In a what I assume is going to be a rare moment of not seriousness for Annika, because everything I've done so far, I've pictured her doing with a completely straight face. She helps encourage him into that purchase.
So you all have 1,000 credits, and this is not a serious moment. I mean, these are actual things for y'all to buy, but a few things that I didn't have space for. So let me see. For instance, a pretty cool crossbow down in the weapons item. That does 2 harm.
Hasafel, the horse from Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Yeah.
It's killing
What?
me.
It's anyway a pretty cool crossbow. So like you'll notice sometimes in the tags, right? The tags really come into play with weapons. So for instance, Occam's taser.
It's deep.
Sorry, I was really happy with that one. All this is made up. I did not pull this off a list anywhere, which is why the list is kind of short.
Oh, you made all this up. That's beautiful.
I made every single piece of it. I did not. I tried looking for cool items online and just ended up writing it all myself. So think of that as like a cattle prod, essentially. So it makes a shit ton of noise, but it uses energy as its attack. So if you remember last time, and this is meta, some monsters require specific types of attacks to kill them. So some might require fire or energy or you name it. Let's see. Haslow's hug. So that is essentially like it's almost like a jacket or a shirt. So the reason it says intimate in the tag is you have to be literally hugging the enemy in order to attack. But it does 3 harm, which is some chonky harm. Deadeye Rifle, it does a ton of harm, but it has the unreliable tag. So if you succeed on your roll, like 10 or above, you're going to do some pretty good damage. If you fail, it could actually hurt you. The Crucifix Cleaver, that's got a holy tag, so sometimes you might need a holy tag. A pretty cool crossbow. It only does 2 harm, but it has the healing tag. So if you succeed on an attack with something that has the healing tag, you regain as many points as you of harm as you do damage. So if something had 1 armor and you shot him with the pretty cool crossbow and succeeded, you would get 1 back. So let's see, Fingerless Gloves of Mockery. Yeah, so that adds to your charm if you're using Intimidation. The deck of cards, its benefit is cool tricks. I don't know. Some things like that. St. Bernard's Frisbee boosts your Protect 1 time a day. The Butter Knife of Lesser Restoration. God, these are funny. Anyway, so some of them are regular, like a leather trench coat or just body armor. It is what it is.
At first, I read that as intimacy damage, and I was like, I feel like I get that.
I think we all can relate. It sounds like. Yeah, so like for instance, the reason why, and 2,000 might be a bit much, but like the Husafel's Cloak of Reckoning, the reason that's so expensive is not only is it 2 armor, but it has a magic tag. So if someone attacks you with magic, it ignores your armor, which is why, for instance, like even if you had armor, Ross, when Rurgameth hit you with that memory stealing attack, if you had been surrounded by a tank, it still would have succeeded on its attack.
Wow.
So having a magic tag, which the denim vest of Dale also has, that is going to bump up your price a little bit, because you're now resistant to your armor counts against magic attacks. So anyway, enough said. Yeah, this list will obviously become bustier as we go along, and your keeper has more time to.
Well,
In,
for now,
in,
I would like to buy the Pipe of the North Wind and the Butter Knife of Lesser Restoration.
hell yeah, man! All
Those
right,
seem
so
useful to me.
put those in a note somewhere. I'll make a note of it as well. So you have the Pipe of the North Wind. Once per day, the pipe emits huge gusts of wind when blown into, and the Butter Knife of Lesser Restoration. So again, meta, and I will become aggressively less meta as we continue along. I just know this is a new system. Your attacks are super straightforward in this game. It's not like there's not as a wide a variety of options as there is in D&D, in terms of like all the different shit you can do. But I don't want you guys to fall into the trap of thinking that because there's only one type of attack roll, quote unquote, kick some ass, that's like the only way you can be involved in combat. Obviously you can use your environment. You can help out in other ways, even if combat's, kick some ass, even if tough isn't your highest stat. So
Yeah, that's why I'm grabbing the pipe. I think it'll be useful.
right. So I'll try to help out on my end as much as I can with that, but it's a different system. It takes some time to adjust. Okay. So you did Butter Knife of Lesser Restoration and Pipe of the Northwind. Sweet.
Yep.
Yafai?
It's tricky.
I know you want those assless chaps of Agadon.
Oh, he does. He really does. But I'm trying to think what's most useful to Yaf. He doesn't seduce a lot.
Maybe this is his wake up call.
The seduction.
To the powers of seduction.
He's gonna grab those assless chaps.
Okay.
And deck of cards because he really wants to do some cool tricks.
Sweet. Ross, out of character. I know you're developing a storyline hook, but I don't want to count you out of this. So we can just retcon that, depending on how that plays out. So I'm not going to like screw you over on picking up some stuff and upgrading your character just because you're like role playing super well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe assuming we can work that out, maybe I can come back.
Yeah, well, so I mean, it's an open shop. So like anytime you guys are here, so like if you guys are here for the next week or 2 weeks or whatever, like you can come back whenever. This isn't like a one shot, and if you miss it, you're fucked sort of thing. So it's just a part of the town of Sanctum. Okay, and I'll also get from Joe what he wants as well, and this will
Joe
be
wants assless chaps.
This will be a regular part of your guys' adventures and experiences. Okay, sweet. Okay. Well, so you guys are here. Let's see. What else are I want you guys to, Ross. I want you to role play out what's going on with Vax right now.
Okay, I think this is what I'm kind of thinking. One of two things is about to happen. Either if something were to kind of stop him, probably it would be Anika or Yafai. And then I don't know what they could do to stop him. Otherwise, he's going to want to leave and go to. He's going to want to go to Easy Aquarii C2B.
Yeah, Anika, that's on you.
They may not stop him. They may
I
Why not?
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I might not.
Anika's down for the free ride. She's not going to tell him how to drive.
Like we got the job now, we got the money, we got the, and he's not very good at shooting things. So,
Yeah, if I could. Yeah, if I'm not gonna role play it for you, but I think I could see. I mean, you have a commitment, obviously, to an attachment, a very personal relationship to an extent with Vax. I mean, he saved your life for fuck's sake, and kind of like gave you your lifeline out of this world of crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I mean, Yafa's gonna try for sure. He's gonna
oh, and
he's gonna
I
track
don't know if you.
down
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Vax.
Caleb.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I don't know how you do PvP, Joel, but if you do allow it, I consent to PvP being done against me. There's even a hunter move for that, I think.
Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, just because this is role playing, like for example, there's a hunter move. I think it says something like manipulate someone, and then it says for another hunter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
That
like
that's a standard. That's a standard move. That's a yeah. Any hunter can try to manipulate another member of their party. Now, I will.
I
I'm obviously
consent
not
to
going to
it.
stop you.
Sorry, I consent to it just to let you know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'll let. I have no problem with Yaf trying to roll a manipulate someone roll on Ross on a Vax. Um, so I'll let you choose if you just want to role play that or if you want to roll for it. The consequences of failing that roll are tough, but we can roll with it. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yaf is gonna. He's not gonna try to manipulate. He's just gonna try to talk real honest. Um, he's gonna say, "Listen, Vax, like it's a hot mess. Okay? I know they fucked you over. It's really not great. I know you're not gonna be the biggest fan of these people, but like, you gave me a future, man. You saved my life. I mean, I'm not sure there's how much we can do about the past, getting your memories back, but I want to save your life too. I want you to have a life. And I think I'm gonna do that a lot better if I have you along to help me."
And I think actually, didn't Yafai take? Didn't you take the? I think you protected me in combat. Did the? Damn it! What's it called? Protect someone, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Um, Vax is like preparing his stuff to leave on his ship, and he's like, he sighs and he's like, if um, it's nothing personal, okay? These religious people, they're just another company. You heard it out of the lady's mouth, so I don't take it personally, but one way or another, it looks like we don't have much longer to live. So I've got a place to go. Listen, why don't you come with me? Why don't you go to Easy Aquari with me? I can get you a job. I think your talents would be great there. You don't have to get involved in this stuff.
Vax, can you do me a favor? Can you wait for like a day before you do that? Just think on it, man, and let me think too. Like, this is huge. This is bigger than us. I mean, we gotta take this seriously. And I can't make any decisions this big like right off the bat, and I wouldn't want you to either. But just hang on, man. I mean, at the very least, I'm not right. Just let's give us all a chance to think it over.
I don't think that's going to change things because I don't think these things we saw are any different than the other things I've seen in the galaxy. These are just other beings. They don't care if we exist. They toss us around like toys. Sounds like what I knew before. But listen, I if it means I get to see you and Aniko a little longer, I'll stick around just for that. And then I'm gonna head out, okay? And then he stops what he's doing and he heads back with Yafai.
Okay. All right. So you guys spend the rest of your day relaxing or walking around the town. Um, Ross, would you like to take this as an opportunity to spend your wares or your wages? You
Yeah,
can if you want. No.
sure. Yeah, I'll get the. Oh, do these things stack? Like, can you get a trench coat and body armor, or the chaps and body armor?
I don't believe armor stacks. Now, what I'll let you do is, I want to be. So here's the tough thing. I will let you stack armor up to. Where's my papers? I think I'll let you stack them up to. That's tough.
Also, what type of damage? Uh, uh, what type of damage do we already have? Like, Caleb, Sean, like, what do we?
I have necromantic and frost.
Okay. So we don't have.
Mine is
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
mine isn't like magical or anything. It just says claws.
Okay.
Basically just physical.
So we could probably use an energy and a holy weapon, right?
Well, if I fail 5 rolls, I can get energy really quickly.
So, let me see here. If I got the crucifix cleaver, that's 200, and the magic denim vest of Dale. Man, that doesn't sound like his style. But it's magical. It's magic protection. So then, like, he would have magic protection and then an option. And I could literally even give that to, probably give it to Yafai, because he's the one that seems like he can get in there and whoop ass. So, but either way, we would have that holy damage option if it came to it. So I'll get that. I'll get the crucifix cleaver and the denim vest of Dale.
All right. So you wanted. Sorry, say that again. The crucifix cleaver.
And the denim vest of Dale.
Okay. And you had no armor going into this, right?
Correct.
So what I'm going to say is I'll let you stack armor, but I'm probably, at least for now, I'm going to cap that at 2.
Yeah.
Just because if I, as the keeper, if I let you guys start wearing 3 armor, that means that either there's one of you who just basically can't be killed, or I have to start dishing out monsters that can defeat the guy who could hurt the guy with 3 armor, which means that he would absolutely fucking smoke those of you without 3 armor. So
That's why me giving items that increase AC was stupid.
So I'm going to cap that at 2. But like, so that to say, if you wanted to, if you like wanted to buy the trench coat and the denim vest of Dale, I'd let you wear the 2 of them.
Okay, so I bought the denim vest of Dale and the crucifix cleaver, so I'm down to 100 credits.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so do you guys want to role play any more of this, or do you want to get? So the last thing for tonight is getting your next assignment. So I've done the majority of the talking, but you guys have done some really amazing role play. So let's resolve. If you guys are, we've only been on for an hour. Let's resolve facts. I want to see how this plays out.
I have an idea, unless you've got an idea for how to hook this. This is what I was thinking. I have this bauble, and I'm having trouble coming up with what it is, and it doesn't matter what it is. So if you guys have ideas, tell me, because that'd be cool. But is it possible that this next mission is related to that? Because right now I have no past except that. So if whatever that next mission is relates to that bauble, then I would do it.
Where are you from originally, Vax? Earth?
No, he's definitely not from Earth. So he's, and I'll tell you, because I have it. He is from, gosh darn it. Of course, I made all this BS up, so like I don't even know what your world actually, Basically, I kind of imagine this sort of like mid-rim of corporate powers, and that is kind of what people assume that he's from based on his mannerisms and choices and what he likes and what he looks like and everything like that. So
Okay.
not from Earth, but not from like these outer worlds either. But if so, I don't know if you have like a planet like that that's like a mega corporate world or something, but probably that was what I was thinking. But at this point, he wouldn't know. Anyways, and I don't know, so that's so actually, I would like to be surprised because like that's kind of cool.
How do you feel about being from one of Jupiter's moons?
You can. I'm kind of cool with you picking and me not knowing. I'm freaking Ray Skywalker right now. I don't even fucking know where I'm from.
That's true. All right. Well, also I'll say on a meta level, yes, we can absolutely. I think that makes perfect sense to work that in.
So what is the bauble like? Random.
Well,
I made a randomized trinket generator, someone says on the internet. Of course you did, internet.
dude, if I've learned anything from world building for the last month, there's a generator. There's a generator for goddamn everything. Here
it is on GitHub. Ready for it? A quite tiny, beautifully burnt doornail. That sounds kind of stupid. I'm going to go ahead and move on from that one.
You had me going. You had me going with quite tiny, beautifully crafted, and then it was
doornail.
Burnt doornail. And I was like, wow, guys, hard left turn. Hard left.
Well, that was clearly a message from his previous employer. If you talk, you'll be dead as.
Oh, man.
Burnt doornail.
Okay, here it is. This is actually kind of cool. I'll send you this generator. A compact, beautifully perfect triangular prism that has scrapes on the outside. It's made of wood and stirs a distant memory in you when it is shaken.
Which really works for the guy with no memories.
That's perfect.
Isn't that cool? I'm going to put this in Facebook. I'll put it right here. Yeah. So anyways, I don't know if you could... How would that hook into this? Because it has a symbol on it, I guess, right? It's a triangular prism. So does that mean it's like a Sith holocron, like one of those kind of things?
A triangular prism would be essentially a pyramid.
Yeah.
That's what.
And then
that's
it's
what
got
a triangular
scrapes on it. So it's like one of those little things from the Fifth Element. It's got like a little symbol on it or something. Or we doing too much with symbols?
No,
anyways,
totally.
Tell me,
Here, give me a couple seconds. Let me think for a second. All right, I got it. Yep, I know how that works in. Not going to tell you yet.
Nice. Well, I wouldn't take the mission though if I didn't know. I mean, that's why I would take the mission.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like they randomly put the adjectives in here because I just hit it and I got a small, strikingly lubricated block.
That sounds horrible. That's the worst fucking description.
I mean, anything's a sex toy if you're brave enough.
You say shockingly lubricated? How does one shockingly lubricate something?
It's
you know what?
shocking.
Don't
how
answer.
lubricated this is.
Know how or why any of you would know the answer to that question.
Strikingly lubricated.
Strikingly.
Joel, let me just say this.
No, please. I thought I was clear.
I was recording this for posterity, but you know what? Fuck it. Never mind.
um, okay.
I can edit it.
So here, how about this?
Fucking striking the lubricate.
So it's the night of the second day. Okay, I'm sorry, we've lost our train of
I'm
thought
so
here.
sorry. Okay.
Okay,
Fuck.
no, I'm blaming that. I could blame it on the random word generator, but I'm going to blame it on Caleb.
That's completely fair. I'm gonna shut up now.
No, please don't. This has been a killer of an RP game for everyone.
It wasn't me, and that's the important part.
It was in a weird turn of fate. It was not Sean. Okay, so I think it is the night of the second day, and you all are in your quarters, and you hear a knock. The door opens with a hiss, and much to I think everyone's surprise, through the door comes the High Priestess herself, High Priestess Dengeli, and she's no longer wearing her religious garments and all the different things that she has to wear in her role. She's wearing very normal clothes that you might see anyone wear walking around Sanctum or any outer world. She comes in and she says, I'm glad that you all have been able to rest and been able to heal. And I know that for some of you, especially you, Mr. Terranen, there remain hesitancies or doubts. To the extent that I am able, I understand those. I wouldn't pretend to be able to empathize with the specificities of your loss. I can only try to compare them to losses of my own, which I can promise you in this role there have been. She said, but I would like to, before you decide if you're going to leave or stay, I thought I would go ahead and just brief you on what your next mission will be. And she pulls out a touchpad, and she's flipping through it, and I think she looks over and she said she sees Vax, she sees you probably thumbing and maybe tossing up in the air and catching that little triangular prism in your hand. And she said, Mr. Terranen, what is that? What is that in your hand?
I don't mean to be rude, but that's kind of the essence of my problem, miss. I used to carry this around with me. I know that I had it on me. I carried it in my suit on my jobs, and when I got back to the ship after this job with this creature, when it touched me, I can't remember what this is anymore. And it made me realize that I don't know anything after I started working back in damn it, where did I work? Yeah, Bernard Star.
She said, well, Mr. Terranen, I'll admit, I asked you a question that I knew the answer to. And it appears, if I'm not mistaken, that what you're holding in your hand is called a spectral diffractor. Now, a spectral diffractor, it is used in undersea bases to illuminate and maximize the light of undersea maintenance stations. They put it in lights, and it diffracts the light and helps them to see while they do repairs. Now, the sheer, I want to say irony, but the fact is that those are most commonly used on the same place that we are sending you next, and that place is Europa. The fact that we're sending you to Europa, and it appears, Mr. Terranen, that whether you remember it or not, if you choose to go, this won't be your first time. So I don't know if there are answers to the questions that you seek on this place. And I absolutely understand why none of the reasons that I have been able to give could motivate you. But how about this, Mr. Ternan? If nothing else, let me give you safe passage to Europa. Maybe it's there that you can find answers to your questions. For anyone else who is interested, we have received information from our investigators that it appears there has been some suspicious activity in the undersea bases underneath the ice of Europa. We believe that this very could well be the next of the artifacts of the totems that we are looking for. That would be what's commonly referred to as the seed. The seed is the artifact of Rakfine, the goddess of mercy and peace, fertility and childbirth. And we have reason to believe that it may be on Rakfine. We would like for you all to go there and acquire it if possible. We are confident that Karasis and her minions have heard of this already. So we are hoping that we can beat them to that. Is this something that you all would be willing to do with us?
He flips the object and then he's like, "How much does it pay?"
Well, Mr. Ternan, that would be contingent, obviously, on whether or not you return the object. If you return the object, then in the time and manner in which it was done, we would be willing to compensate you at a value of, I think the going rate is 1,500 credits. Which, Mr. Ternan, you've been in this business long enough to know that that's very much not a bad price.
I'm in.
Mr. Yafai?
Yaf holds out a fist for Vax to fist bump and says, "I'm in, man."
Miss Alexevic?
I follow Magic Monster Man, yes.
Now, which one's the magic monster, man? Is it the one who is a monster or the one
Yafai.
who is... Yafai. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. She says, I cannot describe to you how happy it makes me to hear that. Now, I know that there are many things that we cannot prepare you for. Unfortunately, I wish I had more information to give you, but I trust your ability to respond in time to the challenges that you will face. Brother Liam and Sister Sophia will prepare you with all the supplies that you need, and we will depart as soon as you are ready. And then she leaves. And you all are left to rest and to sleep. You can have another day to collect to get your things together or do whatever it is you need to do. You all have rested long enough to heal all of the harm that was done you. And if you all want to let me know, Ross, you already told me the playbook option that you wanted to, but if you all can put that in the group message, whatever I believe all of you got an improvement, so just put that in the group message.
Is it too late to change my mind given the story developments?
Not at all.
Because I was kind of trying to optimize, and now I'm like, oh no, I need to role play. This is role playing stuff right here. So
I love it. Yeah. Not at all. I'll generally, I think, probably leave that to the end of. I think next time I might even figure out a way to role play that into these Sanctum stops. If not, we'll just let you all work that in any way that you see fit. So no, please pick whatever makes the most sense for you from your provided list of improvements.
I don't know if you guys saw my
XP
comment.
rollover.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes, your experience, any experience that you gained from failing rolls carries over. The only thing that drops it back to 0 is when you hit 5 and you reach an improvement. Now remember, when you guys get 5 of the improvements off of the regular list, then you move up to the superior list, and you cannot gain the same improvement twice. So like
Okay.
if you were the mundane, which none of you are, then you couldn't reuse one, or for any of you, you can't reuse one. Now,
Since I was at 4 when we answered the last 2 questions, or that we answered the questions at the end of the last session, and I got 2, but I used the 5 for my extra improvement, and then like have 1 left over.
yes, yeah. Any improvement you gain, like if you know in a game you gained 7 or something, you would get your improvement, and then you would mark 2 experience. Okay. Well, you all go to sleep, and as soon as you're ready, you will set out for Europa on the next mission. And that is the end of our session.
Nice. Good job, Joel.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was
We made you work for it.
you
I'm
did.
sorry, I didn't mean to make especially you, Joel, nervous about this because, like, I think it's almost like like if you ever have that, like, you know, like you meet in a tavern and then that one player's like, I don't take the mission. It's like, well, okay, F you, we're gonna go do the thing. I guess you aren't playing. You know what I mean? So, I
mean,
I was gonna hook it back in somehow. I wasn't gonna.
I knew
do
you
that.
were. Yeah. There was a gut level reaction there at first where I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I guess he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to keep playing. Nothing. There's no rule saying he has to do that. But I very quickly, one, I'm just the guide. This is, it's your guys' show more than it is mine. So
You
you're
made all
allowed.
those cool items too.
I'm glad we were able to RP you into still being able to purchase those. Also, if you guys don't mind, drop it in the chat. Drop your improvement and then whatever it is you purchased, because I'm in a different plane of existence when I'm DMing all this, so I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head. So yeah, no, I figured that's what was. I figured that was not, Ross, your way of saying I don't want to play anymore. So
Also, I'm not trying to be the edgelord RPer either.
So no, I loved it. Please, like I thought that was some of the better role playing that I've ever heard, guys. So please, like take liberties, do what you want. I'll sit back and listen. So this is your guys' show.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, now I got to look at the playbooks and kind of rethink it. It's exciting.
Yeah. Yep. Well, guys, any thoughts or any questions?
Nope.
I'm real excited about the lore too. That's
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm excited to unpack that a little bit with you guys. Well, cool, guys. Thanks so much. That was a ton of fun. I thought that was going to be over in 15 minutes, so I'm glad we managed to pull a full session out of that. But we'll plan for the same time next week, and we'll kick off the next mission. These ones. So from now on, these sessions, like, they'll be not the sessions themselves, but last time we kind of took the write a one shot, and if they like it, keep going sort of thing. So it was originally going to be just one session and turned into 2. So we'll start getting more into multi-session sorts of things. Like, it's not going to be 1 or 2 sessions per totem. So we'll roll these out a little bit longer, but same sort of thing. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Have a great night, y'all.
See you next week.
Oh, thanks.